losses consecutively. Jimmy Key, well, quite a story. In '84, he was a non-roster player in a hurry.
Fastball hit to short. Fernandez throws him out.
So Tony Fernandez finally gets an assist in postseason play. In fact, some of these outfielders would be told by Cito Gaston to play a little deeper to cut down the gaps.
3-2 pitch. A line drive into left center. Bell gets over and prevents it from getting in the gap. A wide turn by Wilson, and he holds with a single.
Just what we were talking about. George Bell's speed became very...
Garcia, he'll have to hurry to turn it. They get the force, and that's all.
Illegal slide, technically, but that rule is bent a lot.
Hal McRae, showing no ill effects of that pulled muscle in his side, singles up the middle. Brett to second with 2 out.
Now, McRae has not taken batting practice for 11 days. He did not again today.
Balboni would be next. 2 on, 2 out. Up with it is Orge. He goes to the bag himself, and that'll do it. So the Royals manage a couple of hits, and they strand 2. No score after half an inning. And the Royals made a heck of a deal prior to the 1982 season when they sent the infielder Manny Castillo. With Kansas City and Toronto is that they built slowly, patiently, and inevitably toward the summit. Well hit to right field. Darryl Motley goes back, and shy of the track, he squeezes it.
Motley, who had such an outstanding year offensively, and Pat Sheridan.
We shall see in a few weeks when the ballots are counted. The 2-2 pitch. Hit weakly to second. Easy chance for Frank White, and that's the second out.
If you weren't with us last night, we made the comment that the Blue Jays...
Night start. Tomorrow a travel day. A called third strike. So Bud Black has a 1-2-3 inning in the first, and after 1, no score. Royals and Blue Jays. Tigers, it was broken up by a Tom Brookens single. A check swing, and it's gloved in foul ground by Garth Orge.
When you start rating third baseman defensively in this league, George Brett has good range. His throwing arm can be erratic. Wade Boggs has come along. One price with the exchange rate, the expensive one in Canadian dollars.
$33 Canadian.
Wow.
Darryl Motley is caught looking. They check with Jim Evans down at first base. In the American League in earned run average with his ERA of an even 3 a game. Fernandez to his left. Pretty play. And he takes care of Sunburn.
Poor man's Ozzie Smith, huh? This guy can pick it. San Diego Padres, been an all-star team as a center fielder 1 year. Went to Atlanta. That's where Bobby Cox and he hooked up together.
Fastball hit in the air to right. Motley glides over. And has it. Neither of these teams have guys who get a lot of walks, with the exception of Brett for Kansas City. Barfield hits with this one well to center, but Willie Wilson will catch up with it. And in fact, Brett is not a guy who waits pitchers out for walks. He got 103 walks. A chance for Frank White, and an easy one. Black has set the side down in order in each of the first 2 innings. No score after 2, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station. His 2 starts against Kansas City this year. He was opposed by Lee Brandt both times. Lost once, had a no decision in the other outing. Biancalana puts one in there for a base hit. A leadoff single for Buddy Biancalana.
Become an ace starter.
Lonnie Smith bounces one slowly to the left side. Garth Orge cut in front of Fernandez to make the play as Biancalana advances into scoring position.
And right off to the side, you might have seen
games and took up some of the slack. Moreno not eligible for postseason play for the Royals.
Wow.
Well hit to left field. Bell started in, now goes back and watches it leave. Most of what little power Willie Wilson has is from the right side. He hit only 4 homers this year, but he's given Kansas City the 2-0 lead. And the first time, Tony, Dick Howser has ever had a lead in postseason play as the manager of the Kansas City Royals.
All 4 of Willie Wilson's home runs in regular season play were out of the ballpark.
So you just try to keep him off balance that way. If he's real hot, play him away, pitch him away.
Breaking ball is grounded down to first. Upshaw will take it himself, and he beats Brett to the bag. One pitch to McRae. Curveball line to center, and he's 2 for 2, playing in pain. 6 times a 300 hitter, better than 290 lifetime. That finds the hole. It's the 4th hit of the inning. McRae will stop at second.
I think Ernie Whitt's going to go out now and probably.
Again, the runners will be on the move, and the 3-2 pitch once more. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 2 for Key, but the 2-run homer by that man, Willie Wilson, gives the Royals their first lead of the series. Famers all. As Dick Enberg pointed out last night on the pregame show, Babe Ruth hit his first professional home run in Toronto, playing for the Providence Grays in 1914.
Oh, Garth Orge is incensed with a home plate umpire, Dale Ford. A pitch that looked like it was not only low, but way outside. And Garth.
Breaking ball, grounded to second. Black will have to cover, and he takes the flip from Frank White. A good play.
Well, Frank White has had won about 6 Gold Glove Ford, and not turn on him and get him irritated, but also keep Black from getting too upset when he thinks calls are missed. People think you just put down fingers back there. Rick Dempsey, you tell him something different.
It's just at this point right here, all you want to try to do is stay ahead of the hitters, make sure you don't walk anybody, and give them easy
for the Blue Jays. But there's no venom in these fans against the opposition. Swing and a miss, and Garcia is gone. It's the 2nd strikeout for Black, who still hasn't allowed a hit through 3 innings of work. And on the Wilson homer, it's 2-0 Kansas City. Just re-signing that contract with the Orioles for $600,000. A lot of money for a manager, isn't it, Rick?
No, now he'll be making more money than me, and that'll make him very, very happy.
A leadoff walk from Motley in the 4th.
Now he can get back to yelling at me whenever he wants.
He was 8-8 last year, and that didn't tell the story. His ERA was 4.55. Fernandez, it was right at him. He looks Sundberg back and takes care of Smith.
That you really shouldn't panic. A younger player doesn't know really how to act or react to certain situations, but an experienced player will know that don't panic under any situation.
Wilson gets this one into the air to shallow right field. It's Barfield, and it's the end of the inning. But not before the double by Sundberg. Harry Gura, Vida Blue was there then. Eric Rasmussen, Steve Renko for a while, I think. White backs up, has time, and throws Mosby out. Now, in less than 2 years, they've turned that over from an average age of 35 to an average age of 25. One of them
try and force him to pull the ball.
1-1 pitch. Curveball slapped to third. Brett backs up and commits an error.
And you said the key.
Ripped, and it's a fair ball. Bell will be stopped.
He's running right through it.
He runs through the stop sign and scores. They're going to play on Johnson. And he is dead at third.
Terrible base running by Cliff. George Bell was halted by Jimmy Williams. He had the hand straight up, back. Got to keep going, hope for a bad throw. Sundberg didn't give it to him.
Skied to shallow right. Motley near the line and into foul ground to make the catch. The double by Cliff Johnson was the first hit yielded by Black.
Throw, but Lonnie Smith heaved it all the way on the fly. Didn't hit the cutoff man at all, which really helped Bell to score.
Brett hits it hard, but Fernandez is there to glove it. Had him played well and made a good play on top of it.
That gets the fans on their feet in certain areas of the ballpark.
Curveball hit down to Garth Orge. Long throw and plenty of time. And McRae was moving very gingerly down the first base line.
The ball went through the hitting area. It was close.
In the air to right. Barfield with the call and the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for Dennis Lamb. After 4.5 in Toronto, it remains the Royals 3 and the Blue Jays 1.
The right-handed hitter, a product of the Kansas City Royals organization, successful fielder, but low-scoring games, he wants that defense too.
That's a base hit to open the Blue Jay 5th. And the wake-up call has arrived for the Toronto fans. Biancalana shovels to White for one and on to first. Safe. Garth Orge beat it.
And that's another thing that speed does for you.
Have been better. It's guys like Ernie Witt who have exceeded expectations for Bobby Cox. Popped up. Is it playable? Sundberg off with a mask. Almost slipped on the on-deck circle, but kept his footing and made the catch.
Don't know if he hit the leaded bat or just a little wet spot.
A called third strike. It's strikeout number 4 for Black. The Blue Jays with a leadoff single by Upshaw, but they do nothing with it. In the air to right. Barfield will have no problem with it. 1 out in the 6th.
You know, perhaps one of the great managerial jobs was done last year by the man you just saw in the dugout. Sullivan has worked with him on. You catch the ball, pick it up in the strike zone, start below the ball.
And he went around, couldn't check his swing, and is punched out of there on a pitch way out of the strike zone.
You lean over the plate to get it. He'll bust you inside. We may see that now. Nope, going with a hard slider. He's had an outstanding year.
So Lamp fans 2 in this inning. He set down all 80s faced, keeping Toronto close.
He reached down there and plucked some off the Yankee rosters in the minor leagues.
Some raindrops falling now. Swung at a pitch up around his head and goes down.
Bud Black is throwing very, very hard now. He's pretty much stuck to the fastball on Garcia.
That level throughout the game. He hasn't lost anything since the start. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Up the middle. White behind the bag. Got him.
And there's where the defensive charts pay off. Not just how you pitch a specific offensive player.
Garcia deal. What a mastermind Pat Gillick has been. George Bell staring out at Bud Black.
Black. He's coming down to meet him too, and Dale Ford gets right between. George Bell was one of those who was in the incident when hit by Bruce Keesh, the boss. Look at Cliff Johnson, say, pal, we cannot afford to get you thrown out. Not just of this game. Remember Bert Campaneris when he threw the bat at Laird LeGros? He was suspended for the behind the head or right behind your shoulder that you duck into.
That's through.
Whoops, Bell fell down, but recovers. Bell came around second base very hard in the event the ball was bobbled.
It gets away. The tying runs will be in scoring position. Bell to third and Johnson to second.
The first strike was a backdoor breaking ball that caught the outside corner.
Up the middle. It's going to be a tie ball game. Bell scores and Thornton's behind him. Did we say this crowd was lifeless earlier? Maybe they just know how to pick their spots. White to his left. But the damage has been done. With 2 out, Bell was hit by a pitch. He swore revenge and got it in the form of 2 Blue Jay runs. One pitch to Biancalana. Upshaw. Easy out. Going back to the bottom of the 6th with 2 out and nobody on, and Black throwing well.
He couldn't pull the trigger.
Goodbye.
Monty doesn't care for it. And Ernie Witt, side protector technique. Head right over it, squared over the catcher. They don't sit on the inside corner.
Upshaw, tough hop. Does he have time? Lamp covers and beat Wilson to the bag.
Willie is hooting and howling down the line.
Chopped up the middle. White has it click off his glove. Orge rounds first, and Wilson fires it back in. I don't think with Orge's speed that even had White made the play.
A lot of possibilities. Hit and run, bunt again, straight hit.
The bunt.
Nope.
Black pounces on it and goes to second. They get the force, but not the double play.
And you get a faster runner off the base pass in Orge, who could score on a long base hit or a double.
3-5-0 for the Blue Jays. The error by Brett set up an unearned run. Blind, and Black somehow saves his life and the inning.
That got him and not his glove, and then he trapped it with his glove.
A bullet, and we can only hope that it just took the wind out of him.
Start off a little bit about over 60 feet, 6 inches and a fraction away, and when you follow through.
Roster for postseason and setting Steve Davis aside.
They had Davis, who's in mid-20s, called him up. He was eligible. He was here before September 1st. I believe Lavelle, on the off day, Monday, talked Bobby Cox and the trainer Kenny Karst into thinking that he could pitch.
5 innings pitched, no runs allowed, 8 strikeouts against them.
That long delivery.
Not going this time. Hits softly, and it might drop in. Mosby coming on to make the play. And battered to steal. They let me make up the hit and run anytime I feel like it, so I forgot what the signs are. There he goes. The throw by Witt. Got him. So now it's White with 2 out and nobody on. And he draws a walk.
Well, Tom Hickey, not the ideal.
There goes White. Balboni might have tipped it, but in any case, Witt held it. And they're roaring at Exhibition Stadium. They'll have the top of the order in the bottom of the 8th. And Quisenberry was just 1 behind Suter in '84. He saved 44 last year.
In accordance with that, also 8 home runs this year, which is unusual for him in that ballpark especially.
Brett on a short hop, juggles, and got it. He stayed with it. Mosby is due from Toronto's point of view. 0 for 8 in the series. Not anymore. Base hit.
And they've got the base stealer on that they won against Quisenberry. With that long.
The runner is going. The throw by Sundberg. He's in there with a headlong dive and on his way to third. It not only got by White, but it got through Biancalana backing up. In the air to right center field. It's going to give Toronto the lead. Motley with the catch. Mosby can walk home.
3-0 lead that at this point has gotten away from Kansas City.
Willie Wilson coming in. He's camped under it now. But a one-out single by Mosby. A stolen base for Lloyd. A throwing error for Sundberg. And
Brett in the fourth led to a run with a double RBI. Hit batsman with 2 outs. Bell in the sixth. 2 runs came home.
Well hit by Sheridan to deep right. This game is tied. A pinch hit homer by Pat Sheridan. And it's even up at 4. And for Henke, memories of last Friday. And Butch Weiniger with 2 outs against the Yankees. Right at Fernandez. 1 out.
Bill Caudle to the right and Jim Acker to the left.
He works him for a walk.
And Henke had him no balls and 2 strikes. And Smith has struck out 69 times in about 500 plate appearances during the regular season.
There he goes. Swing and a miss. The throw. Strikeout, throw out. Again, the 1-2. Got him. A weak and late swing. And Barfield's a strikeout victim.
Quisenberry doesn't throw hard every once in a while down on his side.
The change again. He bounces it to Balboni, who underhands to Quisenberry. 2 out.
Ballpark, break the tie and go home the hero, and he keeps it away, changes speeds, they overswing on him.
Well, Mullenix went the opposite way for a 2-out hit.
Certain pitches.
Struck him out. Second strikeout for Quisenberry in the inning. Mullenix singles with 2 out, but he's stranded at first for the 5th time in 14 meetings this year. 13 of them inside the park. Checks his swing and might get a base hit out of it. It's his 3rd hit of the day.
Gonna be some fun now. Henke and Wilson and Ernie Witt's arm.
Got him. George Brett down on strikes.
It was not Henke's riding fastball. Now you're making me swing and protect you, and I'm in the hole against a hard thrower.
Going again. Swing and a miss. Throw by Witt. Wilson stole it.
Witt's going to ask for interference. Witt is arguing with the home plate umpire, say, look, he swung, but it was not intentional. On a pitch away in the strike zone.
Fastball is smacked into center, and Mosby up there. I haven't seen the call yet. He's coming in, and they say safe.
The center field umpire, or rather the second base umpire, looked over to the right field foul line umpire for the call.
Oh, we're going to have a rhubarb now.
Ted Hendry came out, did not see it. He immediately looked. The man who's supposed to call it. He caught it. I don't think that ball hit the turf. Did he catch it? Well, we'll show it to you again.
And I don't think Mosby was consciously decoying when he continued his stride toward the dugout.
So the little bit of a block out also comes into play there on the hard swing by McRae, forcing Ernie Witt to make a low throw.
This ball is squibbed down towards second. White avoids being hit with it, and Garcia throws Balboni out. But the single by Wilson, the stolen base, and the disputed single by Frank White have given Kansas City the 5-4 lead.
That have made the difference in these 2 ball games.
Fernandez chops it over Quisenberry, but Concepcion is there. He double clutches and Fernandez is safe. If he got rid of it the first time, he's got him.
I have never seen Quisenberry upset like that, but he was very irate. He's not.
He bluffed as if he were going. Brett comes in. His only play is to first, so it works like a sacrifice. View of the opening as Hendry would have, facing Mosby. Base hit.
He can throw.
Here comes Sheridan's throw. Williams wanted to stop him. He's safe.
Scores the tying run, and we've got a great ball game. It gets better and better. It gets away.
Throw gets away. And now Mosby's in scoring position.
Kansas City has not played a good first game, nor have they played a good second game. Good teams do that.
In the air to center. Wilson started back, now comes in and gets there. Boy, did that fool him, and the wind may have pushed it down a little bit. In any case, he was able to get there.
Where it was all but unhittable.
That might do it. The throw from Smith. The Blue Jays win it. Mosby scores, and they'll take a 2-0 lead to Kansas City on the Al Oliver base hit.